meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Port Clinton City Council regular scheduled meeting on June 10th, 2025 at Port Clinton City Hall in the Linda Hartlaub Chambers. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent reflection for those protecting and serving our country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. Would you clerk please call the roll?
I can't. I don't have a pen. Like, my pen went missing. I'm so sorry. Beth Gilman. Present. Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Richard Morgan.
Present.
Avery Robinson.
Present.
Pat Hovis.
Present.
Jared Trolley.
Here.
Kathy King.
Here. Thank you. Council, you previously received the May 27, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move for the approval of the minutes from the 27th of May.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Trolley to approve the May 27, 2025 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries and the minutes are approved. The chair notes certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications at this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comment. Oh, one. Oh. Okay.
Tracy Bodie, 114 Lee Street.
Should I stand?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. I have a couple questions. One, I see the project, the water line project, and everything's going full bore. That's great. Now, was this, again, refresh, was this funded by federal money, by the state government or everything? And if that's the case, has funding been full since the cuts by the federal government or
This
whatever?
project now is the county project.
It's a county.
The county, yeah.
So that's been totally, okay,
Everything that's going on right now is
Okay.
the county.
okay, all right. And is it going according to budget, and is it,
It's a county project. They're funding it.
okay, all right, okay,
No clue on that one.
all right.
Sanitary engineer would be the one to contact.
Okay.
Out of county
All
sanitary
right,
engineer.
okay. Second question, exciting news about moving downtown for the city hall. Just curious about costs and what's all gonna go into the remodeling and what's that gonna cost? Is that gonna cost extra money for the residents of Port Clinton? Is there gonna be increase in fees or anything like that? That's just curious.
The purchase agreement is $775,000. Closing is set to take place on or before the 28th of July. We are working with an architect to look at the space we have here, what's needed down there. Basically, everything from that wall this way, including the police department, is moving downtown.
Okay,
There will not be any additional fees, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it a little bit later, potentially, but we're waiting for the architect to come back. We're going to approach.
or sewer rates or anything of that nature?
Nothing like that, no. We're going to approach city council at a date and time when we have those dollars to say, hey, would you allow us to spend no greater than X?
Okay,
We have a ballpark idea, I'm not ready to mention that now, but we're waiting on the official architect.
And water and sewer rates cannot go into
this,
that.
yeah, it's
okay.
Water and sewer has to stay in those particular.
Has there been any discussion about an increase in water and sewer rates?
It just was, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll move on to executive officers' reports. Council and everyone out there, we will be having a special meeting next Tuesday, June 17th at 6 p.m. I asked the clerk to make the appropriate postings. And that is all I have this evening. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, council. How's everyone doing today? Hope you had a great day. Beautiful outside. Just a reminder to everyone that brush pickup started earlier this week, working their way west to east throughout the community to make sure your brush is out by the curb. Unfortunately, if they've already passed your neighborhood, we'll have to wait till the next time around next month. Council, there were approximately 25 high grass notices sent to individuals around the community. This week, they've been going out, checking to see if those properties have been cleaned up. If not, they're taking care of those as quickly as they can. With regard to the infrastructure project, phase 1 of Plan A, the above ground stuff, for all intents and purposes has been completed. They're currently working on the punch list items, going road by road to make the final adjustments and what's needed there. I'd like to personally congratulate the members of the Port Clinton High School athletic programs that found their way down to state, especially, obviously, we all know about McCullough Stork, and as a junior winning the state title in discus is fantastic. So congratulations to all of the kids, whether they were track, tennis, whatnot, that made it down that far. Council of the City received word recently that we received in excess of $600,000 from the ODOT pedestrian and bike funding source for sidewalks in and around the Fulton, Jefferson, 10th, 11th, 12th area of the city of Port Clinton, so that's great news to get that underway. Kiwanis has once again, the Port Clinton Kiwanis Club is once again partnering with the Greater Columbus Kiwanis Club to sell raffle tickets at $5 each for season tickets to the Ohio State Buckeye football program. Just so happens I have my tickets with me today to sell if anyone has $5 they're looking to get rid of, and hopefully win season tickets to the Buckeyes. And finally, you may notice some unfamiliar faces in the front row here to my right, your left. These are 4 of the estimated 650 exchange visitors here in the Port Clinton, Catawba, Marblehead, Put-in-Bay area this summer, working as part of the Bridge USA J1 visa program. 3 of these ladies, and I'll say their names and you wave. Nu is from Thailand. Bo.
Hi, I'm Bo from Thailand.
Bam from Thailand. These ladies have been here for about a month, and not only do they have their primary job in my day office, but they have a second and third job as well, working in the community. And then the other young lady sitting here is Rayhan, or as we call her, Ray Ray. She is from Turkey, and about 23 hours ago, she stepped on a plane in Istanbul, Turkey. So she hasn't been here too long. So she starts work on Wednesday. So, ladies, do you have any questions about what you're seeing here? No. Do you have any questions for them? Madam President, seeing no other information in front of me, concludes my report this evening.
Thank you. Does anyone on council have any questions for the mayor? Okay, thank you. Move on, Mr. Bealow, auditor's report?
Thank you, Madam President. Council, good to be with you today. And thank you for agreeing to do the special meeting next week. The purpose will be the financing options to cover for just a 12-month period, the acquisition of the new building, possible disposition of this building, I think I used the right word, disposal of or reuse of this building, and then the renovation cost that Mr. Boda was getting to earlier. So we'll have an estimate. The ordinance will have a not-to-exceed amount for a bond anticipation note, similar to what we did for the revetment project that council approved for the Lakeshore Drive shoreline stabilization project. So a short-term note that eventually will be taken out with a long-term bond. We'll try to keep the financing costs as minimal as possible. There's a couple different strategies to do that. We should be able to provide, assuming the architect is able to provide us some reasonable estimates at this phase, to present an ordinance to you at the special meeting next week with a request to pass it on its second reading 2 weeks from today. And that would allow us to meet the building closing date of end of July. So I'm happy to answer more. Any questions about that, but more specifics are available from bond counsel with the amount of not to exceed. Council's in receipt of the financial report for May 2025. I believe that's in the correspondence tonight. Just a brief recap of where certain funds stand. Income tax fund revenue continues to be strong enough that at this point, mid-June, the tax commission and I were able to agree upon and then certify to the county auditor we should expect about $350,000 more in income tax revenue than originally estimated back in January, February this year. There'll be an appropriations ordinance coming forward to allow us to spend what's needed of that extra $350,000. We'll update that regularly. The same will go with the fire fund and others as we've done in the past. So the council passed the full year budget at the end of March this year. There was notification and discussion about the need to revisit, especially the fire fund revenues, once we reach halfway point through the year. So far, the fire fund has received just over $800,000. This is the receipts year to date. On the May 30th report, you all received the May financial report. General fund continues to do well. Mr. Bodie, the intent is that all the costs from the downtown relocation project will be able to be absorbed within general funds right now. So,
Thank you.
as we know more, we'll be sure to let you and the public and anyone interested know. But it's a very exciting project. I'm glad to hear that you like it. I think everybody in this room kind of likes it, so it's exciting. I look forward to learning more. The state audit on fiscal year 2024 is rapidly concluding. They are facing a deadline to complete very rapidly, as we have to return or provide an audited financial statement for 2024 to USDA pursuant to our road loan from last year. So any outstanding items that you may have in your inbox or voicemail, please address those promptly so that the state auditor is not waiting on anybody in this room. There are a few outstanding items from folks that aren't in this room. We'll be sure to wrap those up quickly. So I appreciate everyone's patience, and please monitor your email inbox regularly. I appreciate it. Feel free to contact me anytime you have a question. If an email is real or clarification on what an email from the state auditors are requesting, I'm happy to assist there. I believe that concludes my report, but I'm happy to answer any questions, Madam President. Thank you for the time. Mr. Troy.
I have a couple questions, sir. The grant for the trees that we got last year, how are we standing? The 900,000, do we know where we're at with that?
Yeah, we're waiting for the second reimbursement payment. Which
Is it in the works, or is it still?
the American Forest is required, they've selected us, Random Testing, to audit that second reimbursement. So they're asking for more than the regular information that Mr. Chrisman provided at the time. So most of those costs, I think all of those costs, went to Edwards Tree Service for removal of select damaged or at-risk trees within the city, within the eligible area. As soon as we get clearance on that, a deposit in the bank, electronic transfer of the grant funds from American Forest, I'm happy to discuss what a third set of activities might be for reimbursement.
Okay, great.
Obviously, we're cautious about moving forward so that we don't become exposed and take on costs that won't be reimbursed because the Trump administration decides to cancel the grant. So far, that's not the case. I'm feeling rosy, but not completely certain that
Understood.
any grants that have been called or grant agreements that have been terminated would have already been terminated since January by now, but I don't think we'll ever get a certain notification from the federal government that, yep, you're golden forever. I'll always be cautious about it going forward. The same with the small planning grant that the U.S. Department of Transportation awarded the city in partnership with the Park District of Ottawa County and Greater Sandusky Partnership to determine feasibility of extending the Sandusky Bay pathway from Port Clinton to Sandusky and Bayview. That's still on hold, and we haven't been presented a grant agreement to execute yet. I remain hopeful. We also applied the same project for ODOT funds for pedestrian bicycle pathways that they also had available. So it's possible by August, September, we may see a notification that we're awarded funds that might either replace or supplement the funds that we got, which would be great. That'd be the best outcome, but it's all unclear at this point.
Also, one other question.
Yes, sir.
Back before the water line that Mr. Bodie was speaking of, we met, the tree commission met with underground utilities in the county, getting permission to remove the trees on 3rd Street. And they promised us, the tree commission, city/tree commission, $25,000. Have we heard anything about that? Have we received that money? Heard
I
anything?
believe the answer is yes.
Answer is yes, we received.
Yeah, we did receive it? Okay.
Yes, and I
All right,
discussed-
that's-
and I
We had a
discussed,
tree commission meeting today, we had no idea we did, but thank
And
you.
I discussed,
Is that put into the tree commission or tree budget then?
I'm sorry?
Will that be put into the tree budget,
Yeah,
tree commission budget? Okay, thank you,
sure.
appreciate it.
My understanding is the terms of that donation from the utility contractor, or whoever, the $25,000 was a payment in lieu, in replacement of yanking out all those trees.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly, right.
So obviously, replacing each of those trees does not cost in total $25,000,
No,
so,
but if you, the size of them trees,
well, if you find that exact one and move
Right.
it in with a helicopter, sure. But certainly,
Right.
regular restoration planting, all of them in total would not cost $25,000.
Correct.
So
correct.
I've discussed with the safety service director how best and what might be an eligible use of those funds. Since obviously we're planting those, so I have funds left over, so why not maximize the gift that the donation that the contractor provided for removing those shade trees there in the tree lawns.
Okay, thanks, sir. That's
Yeah.
all, Madam President.
I have one question. You said that
Yes, sir.
we had our income tax was at this point $350,000 more than we estimated. Is that a normal thing, or did we get a bunch of rich people move in, or how's that happen?
No, it's just, as of today, the revenues are suggesting that there'll be at least 350 more than originally estimated in January, February. I certified with the county auditor what we anticipate receiving. At that time, it was 3.25. It was more than historically had been estimated, but less than what we saw last year. So try to estimate conservatively, because you never know what's going to happen with the economy and how revenues will, or how receipts would fare. But at this time, it's, I certified to the county auditor that we will see an additional $350,000. Now, that may go up. I would anticipate that goes up, more. I think the income tax commissioner has a forecast that is probably close to 3.6 or $3.7 million.
So you did an estimate based on everything you based it on, but did as conservative because, and, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have to provide some estimate, not just for the income tax fund, but for all of them. So gas tax, license tax, estimate all the fees. At the beginning of the year, to the county auditor, they provide what's called a certificate of estimated resources, which I think I provided an earlier copy, perhaps to this body. And our appropriations we present to you and council approves cannot exceed those amounts. So you can't spend more than you're estimated to take in, plus what you have in the bank at the start of the year. That's the system, so
All right.
we have to provide something in January, February that's usually based on historical rates and anything new that has happened.
Anything
So a
can
periodic
happen.
update is not uncommon.
All right.
So when we sold, for example, the bond anticipation notes for Lakeshore Drive, the revetment project, that was $3.5 million that we did not anticipate in February that we would have. It's technically revenue, even though it's a loan to pay ODOT costs for those project expenditures. So that's just part of the back and forth that has to be done when we see new revenues of any type, whether it's a loan, a grant, or just income tax collection or fees.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, the treasurer's not here, but the clerk has figures.
As of June 6th, 2025, bed tax is at $51,750.86. Watercraft tax is at $17,625. And the rental, short-term rental registrations is at $25,900. Currently, everyone has filed but one from last year.
Okay, thank you. Law director's not with us. Mr. Colston, Civil Service.
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions?
Mr. Colston. Okay. No city staff. On to committee reports. Finance, Ms. Tobin?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Environment, Public Works, Mr. Trolley? Safety Services, Ms. Phillips?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Economic and Community Development, Ms. Gilman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. We'll move on to correspondence. Under correspondence, we have the financial report for May 2025 provided by Mr. Belo. We have the Ohio Division of Liquor Control Notice of Legislative Authority, change of liquor permit from Caseline Partners LLC to Retirement Funds LLC, 116 Madison Street, Port Clinton, Ohio 43452. Does council wish to take any action as to the correspondence this evening?
Madam President,
Mrs. Gilman.
I move we adopt the financial report, or accept the financial report for May 2025 provided by Mr. Velo.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mr. Trolley to adopt the financial report for May 2025.
To accept it.
Or to accept it, I'm sorry.
I said adopt.
Okay.
I did say accept afterwards.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you, motion carries. Does council wish to take any further action as to correspondence?
Madam President, I move we waive our right to a hearing for the Ohio Division of Liquor Control Notice of Legislative Authority for the change of liquor permit from Paceline to Macleod Retirement Funds.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mr. Trolley to waive a hearing as to the liquor permit transfer. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The liquor permit transfer is waiving the hearing is approved. Does council wish to take any further action as to the correspondence?
I just have a quick question. Didn't we have correspondence from the, oh, okay.
Does council?
Madam President, I
Yes.
move we accept the correspondence as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Trolley, any discussion? We have a motion by Ms. Gilman, seconded by Mr. Trolley, to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries, and correspondence is hereby approved. Move on to ordinances, or readings of ordinances and resolutions, which we have not this evening, so we move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, I have a question for the Safety Service Director, Mr. Colson.
Sure.
A while back, the police chief and I took a drive through the town looking at stoplights, and we recommended some changes, and we gave them to you. Has anything happened with that?
No, because I remember I told you that it was about $10,000 to get the study to do that. We did not pull the trigger on that.
It doesn't cost $10,000 just to change the timings, though. That's what.
The timing is the
director
one
told
that could
me.
change on Fremont Road, and it kicks back in. The control system is not great, we'd have to put a new control system in.
But the other lights, have we looked at changing those timings?
We talked about taking some lights out. Third and Fulton, Fourth and Jefferson, which we told you we would do during the project that goes through there. Third and Jefferson, you have to do the traffic warrant, as I explained, and that's, I could probably get it down to 7,800, but that's the best we could do to do the warrants.
And for other ones, I mean, like along Perry Street, if we would change those timings, I think the traffic flow would be much better. And I don't think we need a study for that, or maybe we do, you know?
Well, things have changed because I know we do have to do something, because the light we put out at Mr. X.
Yeah.
Across there, ODOT had some rules about the timing of that light and how long it had to be and all that kind of stuff. So I could certainly look at that to see if you want me to see what timings they suggest. I don't think it's a problem for an extra 10 seconds at a light personally, but that's just my opinion.
Well, people ask me that. I mean, because if we look on Perry Street at Madison, Jefferson, Maple, it said there's 4 or 5 there, and there's no sense to them at all. You know, so I'm just thinking.
Well, I'll disagree with you, the Maple, because I talked to the chief today. He said if we take the one at Maple out, it'll be a speed trap.
Well, again,
From Buckeye to
I'm not
further.
saying take it out. If we set those times correctly, we would actually limit the speed. I mean, there's roads I know that you go 25 miles an hour, you make the lights, so you don't go 30 or 35 because you won't make the lights. And I don't have the answers right now.
Understand?
I'm just, it would be nice if we could look at this. You know, even the ones, some of them, the timing has been the same forever, and traffic patterns have changed. And I just think we could do better than what we have. It's not crucial. No, waiting 10 more seconds won't ruin my life. But if we can make it better, it seems like we should. That's all.
Okay, that's a fair statement.
Okay. Mr. Robinson? Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for putting the yellow on the curbing at 11th Street
Sure.
in Fulton, because I've already had a comment about how nice that was, and it was much better. That was the first thing. The second thing is, I always go to the cemetery, et cetera. It's just one of those things we check. And I know the grass is growing, but I think they're doing a pretty good job trying to control it. The only thing we can do other than that, I suppose, is rent a couple of goats or a couple of sheep and set them out there. And maybe we can get it actually get caught up, because they're good eaters. And that's it.
I'll pass that on.
Mrs. Hovind?
That's a bad idea.
Bye.
Come on, TC, that's a bad idea.
You okay?
I know. Mr. Trolley?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mrs. King?
I have one dog that eats grass quite a bit, so
Oh, there
I
you
mean,
go.
I can lend it
Take it
out
for a
if
walk.
you need him.
Rent him out.
Take it for a
Nothing
walk.
else.
Mrs. Gilman?
I wonder if Tracy can train the mayflies to eat grass.
That'd be great.
No, nothing tonight, Madam President.
Okay, seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Do you have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mr. Robinson to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. We're adjourned.